What was that game? What was that game? What was that game? Why? In a quarter where Caitlin Clark scores 15 points, did you run Caitlin Clark as a decoy for Kelsey Mitchell 3, who is 0 of 8 from 3? She's 0 of 8 from 3. Why did you run Caitlin Clark as a decoy down 5 with 20 seconds to go? You ran her as a decoy. You ran her as a decoy. Down 5. She has 15 points in the fourth quarter. What are you doing, Christy Sides? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What was that? What was that? I am so shocked. What was that? Oh my god. Oh my god. An absolute disaster class of a game from Christy Sides. I'm not gonna lie. A disaster class game from Christy Sides, but I'll talk more about that later on. Right now, that was almost the best comeback we've seen. The Indiana Fever, and I mean this, the Indiana Fever played 3 of the worst quarters I have ever seen in my life. Aaliyah Boston decides on 4 fouls, she has a chance to make it a 10-point game. There was literally, the first quarter, this team starts off 5-0, and then you've seen obviously a bad quarter. All the Mystics did was cut. I'm going to get rid of chat because I know it's going to get toxic. But all the Mystics did was cut. That's all they did. All the Mystics did was cut. Ariel Atkins, by the way. Let's give credit where credit's due to Ariel Atkins. Ariel Atkins, any time a score was needed, Ariel Atkins stepped up. But everything else just came from, like, Dolson also stepped up. But it just came from, all they did, like Dolson, what'd she have? 6 assists, she had 4 early. Through 3 quarters. All they did was just cut. This team, literally, if you watch back on this game, if you have League Pass, every single time there was a weak side, guard-to-guard exchange, the Fever would cut, but they would cut not so passively that they could curl that. They could literally, the wing or the corner would set like a flare screen for the guard or for the wing, and they would go down off the ball. And then whoever set the screen would just cut to the basket, and they were open every single time. It was look, Caitlin Clark might be the worst defender off the ball I've ever seen, followed closely by Kelsey Mitchell as the second worst, followed by Nalissa Smith as the third worst. Maybe any of these three can be in any order for the worst off the ball defenders I've seen in the history of the sport. And then followed by Erica Wheeler as a fourth, Christy Wallace as a fifth, Aaliyah Boston, because she's guarding the bigs, doesn't really matter. Katie Lou's in that conversation for the worst as well. The only good defender on this team is Lexi Hull. Lexi Hull in the fourth quarter was a big reason on defense for their comeback. But, like, Aaliyah Boston, what was she doing? In the third quarter, it was a 9-point game. Caitlin Clark gets a steal. Erica Wheeler goes running. The ball is thrown to Erica Wheeler on the break for a layup to make it a 7-point game. She gets stripped from behind by Ariel Atkins. Then they go and run. Nobody gets back on defense. So Dolson and Walker Kimbrough are on the court. Walker Kimbrough, 0 of 3 from 3 on the game, is open for 3. It's a 2-on-1 situation with Nalissa Smith. Nalissa Smith gives up the open layup. She gives up the open layup to run a not good 3-point shooter off the 3-point line. She gave up the open layup. Caitlin Clark recovers late. Bang, foul. She's in foul trouble. And 1. They get 3 points out of the play anyway. Next possession, Aaliyah Boston takes on Dolson. I don't know what had happened previously, but she fakes her up. Aaliyah Boston decides to, after she gets fouled, elbow her in the face. How it wasn't a flagrant 1, I don't know. But she made a good move, was getting fouled, and as she's about to get her and 1, decides for no reason, she gained no advantage. I'm going to make my move, and then as I'm shooting, raise my elbow in a completely different motion, and it clock her in the face with an elbow. Like, how that wasn't a flagrant on Aaliyah Boston, I don't know. But if that shot goes in, it's a 10-point game. But no, Aaliyah Boston picks up her 5th foul on a needless elbow to the face. And Caitlin Clark through 3 quarters, Jesus Christ. Yeah, she was passing everywhere, setting up everything. The worst defensive performance I've ever seen from her. But now, we're 5 minutes in. Rant is over. For everyone new to the channel, if you guys could subscribe, it'd be greatly appreciated. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. If we can hit like 19.7 thousand subscribers by the end of the day, that would be insane. For anyone that's new to this channel. But after that, the 4th quarter was unbelievable. It was a 21-point game. A 21-point game. Going into the 4th. I just want to see this play-by-play. Caitlin Clark. That is the best quarter you've played all year. That is your best quarter. When people wanted you to take over, that is what people meant. So, Demiris Dantas. Oh my God. That was as bad a performance as I've ever seen from any player. Like, she genuinely, like, was looking like... She looked like she didn't know how to play basketball today. I know she hit a really nice Dirk fade, but at times she was looking like she didn't know how to play basketball. So Lexi Hall makes a great cut for a layup. And then they're down, 15. Kelsey Mitchell gets a nice layup. Caitlin Clark with a block. Caitlin Clark running finger roll. Lexi Hall steal. In fairness, she got blocked. Out of bounds play. Kelsey Mitchell shoots a foot on the line step back 3. Then there was a really nice one-legged fadeaway for Dantas. A bit of a rough shooting foul. Then there was a play where Caitlin Clark turned the ball over, where Dantas got tripped up. Terrible call by the ref. She literally got tripped and the ball goes out of bounds. They miss a couple of shots, but from here on out, Caitlin Clark gets it back to 9. And you're thinking, oh, okay, this is a ball game again. And then out of nowhere, it's a 15-point game. 15-point game. Aaliyah Boston comes back in the game. Nalissa Smith comes back in the game. The lineup of Nalissa Smith, instead of Nalissa Smith being dropped, if they dropped Katie Lou, I think they might have won this game. Then Aaliyah Boston starts the run. They go 17. Jade Melbourne gets a steal because Kelsey Mitchell just threw the ball to her. But Ariel Atkins scores. Then Boston scores. What's her name? Lexi Hall hits a shot off a Caitlin Clark assist. Caitlin Clark for 3. Caitlin Clark goes to the basket, fouled. 2 free throws. Caitlin Clark makes a layup, aggressive. Kelsey Mitchell goes 1 and 2 from the line. Caitlin Clark goes 2 for 2 from the line. Caitlin Clark did miss a free throw on one of these, which was a bit rough. And then it's a 5-point game. Caitlin Clark hits her free throws. That was a serious 4th quarter there from Caitlin Clark. Just too little too late. I don't know if this was... Like, every single player on this team can't be that bad at defense off the ball. I've never... Like, if teams just play like the Mystics do and just constantly cut, the Fever are going to leave people open. The amount of times they would... There was one time in the game, Nalissa Smith switched. She switched. And I'm not joking. She switched onto the ball and turned her back and ran away from Julie Vanloo wide open for 3. And whoever it was that she switched with, they both realized, oh crap, I shouldn't have ran off the ball. And then 2 of them ran to Vanloo and they gave up an open layup. Like this, like the defense, as bad. Look, I'm just putting this out there right now. Lexi Hull is a good individual defender. Aaliyah Boston's a good interior defender. Katie Lou is not a good defender. Kelsey Mitchell is a terrible defender. Caitlin Clark is not a good defender. Nalissa Smith's a terrible defender. Demiris Dantas is not a good defender. Erica Wheeler is not a good defender. Christy Wallace is not a good defender. So you've got a team of terrible defenders who are coached terribly as a system as well. So, look, it's a learning experience. And you know what? If this was a 21-point game, I'd be a lot more angry. But this team has fight. They have fight. Coming down the stretch, they had a chance. They had a real chance in that game, but unfortunately, it was too little too late. And again, for people saying Reese is Rookie of the Year, we saw the most stat-padded triple-double in history, and Caitlin Clark ended that game with 29 points, 3 blocks, 5 steals, obviously 5 fouls, 5 boards, and a franchise-tying record, 13 assists, while 10 of 11 from the line on 14 shots. She had 30 points on 14 shots. Ridiculous 4th quarter, but up to that point, Jesus, that was a bad game.